Oh, it's 8:02. I thought I was close. I wasn't close at all. Forum, how you doing? How you be? Top to the AB, and I'm running a little bit late here. There's actually was a bit of an outage with internet where I am. It looks like it was storming a little bit earlier. Had to reboot a lot of things and was able to get it to work. So we'll see how long this lasts. Hopefully it should be good. It's not raining anymore, so it sounds pretty quiet. Hi, how you guys doing? Hope you guys had good days at work. And yeah, I hope everything went well. I've been trying to clean up my face, but I think it looks okay. It looks doable. I guess that's the best way to say it. Alrighty, folks, let's go ahead and get started and try to help some people. Actually, you know what? I actually saw something that was kind of interesting, and I was looking at it, and I started going through it. I was like, oh man, I need to stop looking at this because it ruins the surprise whenever I look at it. And I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and try to do something a little bit different here. So try something else here. Let's see if we like it. So we'll see. All right. So I was thinking about this, like 50 photos of the worst case tech support had to handle. So like basically it's just pictures of the worst cases that tech support had to handle. Like me personally, like when I go over my history, there's certain things that I've handled that I care not mention, but I don't know if I even have pictures that would even make the top 50. So let's go ahead and take a look at this here. I wonder if I can just do it. Okay, yeah, I can just do it this way. If I can ever find my mouse. Okay, there we go. Oh dear God. Oh my God. So here we go here, right out of the gate with disgustingness. Okay, here's my thing when it comes to seeing this. Now see, these are fiber cables, like or this patch panel here, or this panel where it's having connectors here, and seeing a mouse just nibble on it. That is, Oh my god! If somebody gave me this, or if I was working on somebody's issue and I saw this, I would literally close up and quit. Like I wouldn't even try to to fight that mouse. That mouse looks like it is after that glass there. So that is no. I can't do it. I can't do it. Me and mice don't get along. They fast and they're blurry, and it's just no. I couldn't do it. No. When they get creative with only working audio output they have. Oh my god. You completely ruin the impedance when you do this. Like it'll be hard to press to actually get a good audio connection out of this, because it's a 3.5 millimeter that's split 80 times to one headset. You must have like 20 people over to do like a podcast or something. But I mean, I'm not sure what kind of audio quality you'll get when your podcast is going through 3.5 millimeter and split like 90 times. But I mean, hey, it's a start. All right, so let's go to, oh my god. Customer describes a slight burning smell. Jesus Christ. This is like a fire. Like, I don't even know what could do something like that to that level. Okay, so let's think about this, right? So if I was troubleshooting this and I just saw this much damage. So here's the thing. The only way something like this can happen is if they got caught on fire, or if the drives exploded. So if you look at the drives here, like the damage to them, they may have gotten too hot and the fan may have gone out, but it would have never melted the monitor too. So like if we look up here, it just completely destroyed the monitor. So that's like the device was closed and got burned. So I don't even know how that could happen. And that's plastic. So I don't know. That takes more than a lighter. That takes you throwing it in a flame only at that particular corner, or those hard drives are just arme. You just arme the hard drives and be like, hey, my hard drive caught fire, and if you don't return this, I'm gonna sue you. Because that is like, I wonder if that middle guy exploded or something like that. I've never seen a hard drive overheat like that. Not to the point where it's caused your laptop to get caught on fire. Like they don't get that hot, but I mean, it may have gotten that hot in that chassis. But what kind of chassis is that, by the way? Okay, so it's an Intel Core i3. So this is an older laptop, so it's a possibility that it just kind of caught fire. We used to make them very flammable back. Oh my god. Okay. Don't use lemonade to clean your mouse. I thought the acidity would clean off the buildup of crumbs and Cheeto grease, but it just attracted these ants. I left home for 2 days just to see this on my desk. Oh my god. Oh god. Okay, so here's the thing about ants. Ants are attracted to sugar and fat. So, and I ended up finding this out the hard way. I used to go to like this taco restaurant, and I used to leave like the bag that they came in on the floor. And it's like, you know, like burritos and tortillas and stuff like that. And it just got piled up with ants coming from anywhere of which direction. And I don't even know how they got in my house. And I was like at an apartment at that particular point in time. And yes, it is either fat or sugar. And here's what's so crazy about it. This man here tried to put lemonade on a mouse to get rid of Cheeto grease. Cheeto grease is fat and lemonade is sugar. So he was asking for it. It doesn't matter what season or what mood of food they were in, they would have eaten it no matter what. It's just that the sugar made it so that they can actually sniff it out. This is game over. Not only can you not do anything about this, there's scent is all over this. You would have to plaster the whole desk to clean that thing up. And the answer would be like, look at me. This is my mouse now. This mouse belongs to me. That is insane. And they're all the same like species too. Like it's not like it attracted different types. It's all the same species. So just one nest. What I would personally do in this particular situation, if it was able to attract this many ants, I would see where they came from. More than likely a window, but I would see where they're taking it back to, because obviously there's a queen somewhere. The queen's not sitting in your mouse somewhere. So, okay, I'm going a little bit too far with bugs. Okay, I may have watched National Geographic once or twice. In this particular situation, I look for a queen. So if it came from a windowsill, then there's not a whole lot you can do. You have to clean that scent so that they can't come back, or worker ants can't come back. But in this particular situation here, I would actually look and see where the ants are coming from, and see if I can poison that area in order to get rid of the queen, because they're going to keep coming back. Wow, that is, ooh, man, and that's a good mouse too. It's a shame. Okay, what's this one? Okay, go check the switch closet. We think something might have gotten unplugged somewhere. Oh my God. This, okay, I get it, but this right here, this is normal procedure. So like, okay, so it can get really bad. Generally, you may have teams that are dedicated to it, but if you ain't got no teams that are dedicated to this, then this is normal behavior. Like, this is very, very normal to see. Now it's bad, don't get me wrong, it's super, super bad, but I've seen it get like this before, and yeah, it's impossible to check. There's no tags anywhere. It's just tacky. I know friends that'll have a seizure by looking at this. They're like very, very cleanly, like we have departments that are dedicated to just doing this, and if they see this, they'll just spaz out. Like, it'll just be like, do not compute. Like, their computer just freezes up, and it's like blue screen of death in their mind when they see something like this, especially that extension cord with all those. Oh my God, that is a fire hazard waiting to happen. Not that the core is on fire hazards too, but this entire situation is just a fire hazard. you just call the fire ahead of time with this particular situation. You know what? Okay, so this one right here says, a dove made a nest in the projector in my classroom. You know what? This is an excellent idea for a pigeon, because here's the thing. All projectors generate so much heat. So it's essentially acting as if it's a warming incubation for her eggs, even her sitting on it. So it's just warm all around. Plus the underside of it is super, super warm. So that is an excellent idea. That pigeon is a genius. I would actually study that pigeon's mind, because that's a smart idea. Like, I don't even know if I would actually move them, because that's a very smart idea. There's no predators. It's heat coming from the bottom of the projector, and that bird is just sitting here chilling. Now, the only problem is she's gonna have to figure out how to get food to her babies when the eggs hatch. But outside of that, that's an excellent idea. I never even thought of that. That is the most resourceful bird that I've ever seen outside of Sesame Street. All right, this is actually pretty good. Okay, so I haven't seen, what is this? Oh dear God. Oh dear God. So it's okay. Improvisation. So what they done is try to create so they don't have the plug in order to actually power on this PC. So instead they put a screw into each outlet, and they basically just connected a positive and a negative in order to plug it into something. This is super dangerous. Super, 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 super dangerous. Most people who do this have a death wish. This is the same thing as if you tried to like jumpstart a battery, but more dangerous because you're using screws that are just kind of out in the open. But oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I get that. That's definitely is improvised, but I would not do that. I would just go get a cable. Forget that. It's not worth it. It's not worth death or setting it on fire. Maybe these like the stains in here are coming from whenever you actually get ready to turn this on and it starts to spark up. Because that is game over. I mean, okay. Would this work? Yes. Is a possibility that you may die from it? Yes. Is it a good idea? No. All right, let's go to the next one here. So this one here, server down. Boss, the server is down. Well, just restart it. That's not possible. Dear Lord, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know how somebody was able to drop that. So generally a server that's that big, like a server NAS that's that big, would never actually hit the ground unless somebody messed up trying to put it in the rack. But yeah, that's bad. On top of it being bad, you don't know where those drives come from, like which slot they go into. Like if they're not labeled or numbered, you have no idea which slot they go into. So you may destroy your RAID array or call your drives foreign, or the server may call, well, not necessarily the server, but the RAID controller may call those drives foreign because they're in the wrong slot. Like, yikes, that's bad. Trouble ticket read after office renovation, internet doesn't work. What the heck is that? Oh, I see. Okay, after office renovation, internet does not work. So if you look, they painted the Ethernet cable, so all the connectors are painted over. I've seen people do this. That are super, 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 super lazy, and they will just paint right over stuff. Like, for example, if you have things plugged into your wall or your power outlet, like I used to have, this security system, and the plug, they paint it right over the plug, or they'll paint right over an Ethernet cable or a phone cable. Like, no one cares. They, like, that's how you know you didn't pay enough for painters. When they start doing this, you didn't pay enough. You got the wrong type of painters, because most painters will at least cover it with tape and then paint over it kind of situation. But this person here didn't care at all. This person, it's almost like they took it out and then painted it and put it back in. That's the only way you can get it that bad. While we're posting pierced fiber lines. Oh dear God. Oh my goodness. Okay, while we're posting pierced fiber lines. Okay, that is ultra dangerous. If somebody went and tried to take that out, they'd probably die. That is, ooh, and that's fiber. Ooh, that's no bueno. You can't even take that out. You would have to power down the line and then pray. I don't know of another way to take that out. That is, ooh, that's scary. It actually works. Okay. So let me see what he got. Oh my God. Okay, let me. Okay, so it's DDR2, so it's a motherboard, old school style. It does have a fan over the CPU, DDR2. It does have a wireless card, and he basically kind of rigged it so that he can give power to his monitor, and he has LED lights, and he has USB. So basically, he's just running directly from a motherboard, and it kind of is like a makeshift monitor as well, that's all in a box. That's actually pretty impressive. DDR2, like, it's old school, but it's super impressive. Like, this is gonna be like Windows 7 or Windows 8.11 kind of situation, but I mean, hey, that's pretty cool. Like, you can't show that to a nerd and think that they'll be like, oh my God, why would you do such a thing? They'll be like, oh man, that's pretty sick. I can't think of a single reason why I would want that, but it's pretty sick. All right, let's go to the next one. This came in today and it's glorious. Oh my God. That's this person's MacBook. Holy heck. How would that happen? I don't even know how that would happen. Let me think about that. How could... I don't think you can do that. That's the MacBooks are like aluminum. For that to happen, it would have had to have rested in the sun to the point where it got so hot it was malleable. That's the only thing that can cause something like that. That it got so hot it was bendable, because it bent everything. It bent it so much you can even tell that the glue is not attached. Like, it's completely unattached from the glue. So that means that it got super hot. Have you ever, like, okay, so if you ever try to tape something, and if you try to tape like power outlets or anything that carries a current, it will actually melt the stickiness of the tape. So you can't use tape on anything that has an electrical current running through it. So for this right here to get so malleable, and that's aluminum, for it to get so malleable that it's that bendable, and it's bendable, like, it was almost as if it got hit with so much heat that this entire thing is bendable, and it's very hard to bend that without doing some type of a machine. Like, you can't even do that with your hand. Like, it would have had to. You could even throw it off a cliff. It wouldn't do something like that. Not like that. So I don't even know what could happen with something like that. I would just be impressed and take pictures and put it on Facebook, which I guess is what this person did, because that is pretty impressive. And when it's And when it comes to sometimes absurdly humorous tech to submissions the moderators think is played up for laughs, to be honest, and he added, there's definitely posts like this. Yikes, that's bad, but I can't imagine anyone passing out from seeing bad cabling, you know. Okay, so that's, I'm guessing they're talking about something else. Okay, I don't work in tech. My hospital has some occasional network issues. I finally seen behind the curtain. Oh my God. Okay, that... yeah... Okay, I've had some jobs where they've never even bothered because they never had somebody to do it, but this is up there, man. Especially when it's not, like, I've seen people that've made it tacky like this, but they'll color code it, so you at least have an idea of where things belong, even if they are tacky. But there's no rhyme or reason to this. This is just one of those situations where you need to plug in a cable and you plug it in whatever port is available and not worry about the tidying. But yeah, that is, oof. It looks like spaghetti. Shared on Facebook. Why is my mouse not working? I blank did the meme on accident. What? Why is my mouse not working? Shared on Facebook. I don't get it. Uh. Oh. He cut it. Okay, that's okay. I'll give you points for E for effort because that is I don't even know what the meme is, but whatever. Okay, mad scientist. That's not mad. That's actually pretty sweet. So if you look at his setup, he has a bunch of CRTs and then he has his laptop, and he's basically just running some form of code on his monitors with hard drives hanging out from the ceiling. This is almost like almost like a mad scientist. No. This is almost like a lair for somebody that's getting ready to do something disastrous. With CRTs, man, that's pretty old school, man. Whoever does this, they're probably a really cool person to have CRTs hanging around. Man, they got to be in their 40s though. But this is a pretty cool setup though. I gotta admit that's pretty cool. And I guarantee you, of all those monitors, maybe 2 of them work. Saw this in the basement of a mini. Oh my god. Oh my god. Saw this in the basement of a mini mall. Oh, is that? Hold on. Oh, my eyes. I can't. It's just too bad. What? Is that a whole nest? I can't. Okay, hold on. Let me get in closer. Is that a nest of rodents? I can't tell, but I've never seen a brick shaped like the back of a mouse. I don't know, man. And I think that's a picture of Jesus. I'm not exactly sure what's happening here, but this is disgusting. Oh my god. Just imagine if this was your HOA. Be like, nah, man, this is an accident waiting to happen, man. This is about to be an assessment, like, for days. Like, you're gonna cause a quick explosion. Like, that's too much. And you can already tell there's damage. Like, there's already been a fire. And so they just came back and just put the wires back together. It's like the wires were set on fire and they put it out before the wires caught on fire and left the wires. They didn't bother replacing them. They just left them there. That is so dangerous. I wouldn't even come anywhere near that. This water-cooled PC I found for sale online. Oh my goodness. That jug. Is that like blue lemonade? Like, it's just, wow, that is old school. Oh my god, I used to hate these chassis because every time you work on them, they'll cut you up. So there's no way you can work in this chassis without like bleeding from every orifice because of how sharp it is. I could not stand these chassis. Like, we used to have these whenever I was younger and doing PC repair and stuff like that. And these chassis here, man, if you don't use gloves, like two or three pairs, this thing is so sharp it'll destroy you. Like, it'll tear you a new one. It's almost like playing with knives. It's the equivalent of trying to troubleshoot knives. Alright, so this one here. Coworker had an important thumb drive fail on her. Solder pads tore off. Just a little bit of janky soldering and I was able to recover the files just fine. Oh wow. So her the connector for the USB. That's kind of interesting because this just looks like a cable. It doesn't necessarily look like a drive that cannot be replaced. So that's kind of weird, but sure, bro. To ensure the maximum keyboard stability, he decided 57 screws was the magic number for the Xbox 360. And it still got a red ring of death. Even after all that work, and it still gets a red ring of death. See, that's depressing right there. That is a lot of screws. I've never even bothered to open one up. Remove the 57 1.2 millimeter P0 Phillips head screws that I don't even know what that means, but that's crazy. Okay. Oh my god, nice and crispy. That is completely burnt out. Like, your board is dead. Like, there is nothing that you can do on that situation. That is just, good lord. I've done that before, but it was because I put FireWire on USB. It wasn't because I hated life. I wanted my board to die. The way the electrician repaired his own mistake at my house without notifying me. Optical fiber entry link they shouldn't notice. Oh, they just gonna leave that there? Wow, that's very nice of them. That is, wow. Okay. PlayStation 2 Slim doesn't turn on. Also, seller had no idea what happened to it. It doesn't turn on when plugged in. Ew. Apparently this guy lives near beach water because he just left that thing open to just rust. Like, this is like that movie where you, like, if you touch that rust you immediately die because everything is fast forwarded times like 30. So that is just the most rustiest laptop I've ever seen. Wow. You need some lotion. No, I have never dropped my phone in water or anything. Oh my goodness. Well, so much for that phone. That phone is a goner. Well, it may not be. Well, I mean, you got to put it in rice or something, but, or a paper towel. You definitely need a paper towel. But that is crazy. Found this on a user's oh my god. Fun fact, I used to tape up my USB cables too, especially when I wanted to change the color. So like if it was like a white USB cable and I wanted it to be black, I would just tape it in like electrical tape and turn it black. But this is going a bit too far. That's a bit much. Okay, I'll do one more and then I'll actually start helping people. Student spilled nail polish on computer. Mother tried to clean it and it washed off 26 keys. Dang, that is crazy. You got ink everywhere. Fingernail polish does not play. Good lord. I didn't even know people put on like fingernail polish on their keys. Like, I've never seen it actually get destroyed like that. Good lord. Man, what do they put in fingernail polish these days? Okay, let's actually start helping some people. Alright, because I'm not even, that's like 50 photos and we've gone halfway. Okay, let's actually do some work. Okay, this is from someone private. I'm in the Army and I need to change the IP address of computers, Windows 10, without admin access. Any way to do it? I only have admin access at the beginning. After a few days, the password gets changed and it takes time to get it approved to get the password. Any way I can give a normal user privileges just to change the IP address and nothing else? Wait, what? Hold on, I've been too busy looking at weird images. Let me read this again. Okay. I only have admin access at the beginning. So they no longer have admin access. After a few days, the password gets changed and it takes time to get approved to get the password. Any way that I can give a normal user privileges just to change the IP address and nothing else? Well, it depends on the settings. And because you're in the Army, I would say don't do that. And that's just me looking out for you. I would not touch it. Because if you're in the Army and you do that, you may violate something and I don't want you, get put on probation or something like that over an IP address. It's not worth it. I would just wait a couple of minutes. Like that's irrelevant. I wouldn't even play that game because when you're talking about the government and you're talking about the government settings and you lost your admin access, there has to be a reason for it. So if you lost your admin access, then I definitely wouldn't try to do anything to look at the IP address or anything like that. When they're trying to change your password, I would just leave it alone because you may end up getting yourself into a world of hurt that you don't want to get yourself into. Now, whether or not you could or you couldn't, it's a possibility. You would have to create a user account and then log into that user account and then you should be able to see it. Or you can log in via safe mode and you should be able to see it that way. But at the same time, I wouldn't play those games. Not in the Army. Now, if you were working at Chuck E. Cheese or something, and that's not going to get Chuck E. Cheese, but, if you were working somewhere like that, then that's a possibility. But even then, I still wouldn't do it. Mostly because it's just too much to lose for a couple of minutes. Just wait for your password. Jeez. People are just so impatient these days. All right, so this is from Cold Cyan 10. Cyan is a great color. CPU at 90% until I open Task Manager. Pretty sure it's a virus downloaded something that can track process called PRO command. It says that the process that is sucking up the CPU is called msmpeng.exe. It's from the anti-malware service executable, but judging from what I saw online, the 90% doesn't go back to normal when the anti-malware service normal with the anti-malware service executable. So how do I fix? Well, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I would have to look that up. But typically how you would fix it is you would actually go to that program, and if you don't need it, you would uninstall it. But if it's anti-malware that's associated with Windows, then you can try to, well, I would say you can try to deactivate it. But, you know, if you try to do something like that, then you would need malware on your computer. So, yeah, you can try to disable it or deactivate it, or you can try to turn it off to see. So there's nothing wrong with turning off this executable file in order to see what may happen. So basically, just by going to the services and going there, you can turn that guy off, or just by right-clicking and force to turn off, or you can force it to turn off from just right-clicking in your task manager and seeing if that actually makes your CPU go down. It could be one of those things where it may be going up, but here's the thing, this process only utilizes one core. If you have, you know, 4 cores, you're not really utilizing a whole lot, even if it is hitting 90% on a particular CPU core. It's rare that, you know, once a single process, whether it's single or dual, because most processors are either single core or dual core, for them to hit all the cores of your processor, unless of course you have an older processor that really is dual core. So yeah, it's kind of a situation there where it shouldn't really affect your overall CPU utilization by much if it's only utilizing one core. But if it's utilizing multiple CPU cores or threads, then it can be a problem. So yeah, but in this particular situation here, I just disable it and see if my CPU issue goes away for an extended amount of time. Alrighty, let's go. Ooh. Alright, so this is a lot to read, so let me go ahead and get ready. Alright, so let's do this. Okay, checking my internet just to make sure nothing has gone crazy, and it looks like everything is fine. Checking Restream, everything looks good. Okay, cool. So this one here is from fix number 3048. PC crashed. Is getting out of my league trying to figure out what's wrong. If anyone could help, much appreciated. I have a CyberPower PC that finally gave up on me after 8 years of perfect functionality. It reverted to the automatic repair function, but that can't repair it. Okay. Then I tried everything suggested on Google, checked this too, some 3 hours, didn't fix it. Also did boot repair, nothing. I don't have a system image to restore it to. PC reset function also fails. Then I tried booting from its Windows 10 repair disk. It won't boot from CD-ROM even after I set it as priority in BIOS. Don't know what else to try. I unplugged it overnight, still nothing today. Any ideas what's going on with it? So, okay, let me just read these edits because they're super long. Edit, pulled out the CD drive. Seems like the DVD rewritable after all. Also read on it that it was manufactured in 2017, so I misspoke. PC is less than 5 years old. I guess for me, it felt like 8 years passed. I can see that. As soon as you said CD-ROM, I already knew it was old. And not necessarily to just, you know, cast aspersions on you. It's just that most PCs that are relatively new generally don't have CD-ROM drives anymore. So I misspoke. PC is less than 5 years old. Okay, I'm sorry. LOL also motherboard accepts SATA 2 hard drives only. True. That is a relatively old computer. On my way to Best Buy to get an SSD. Maybe I can then reinstall Windows from my disk. I don't know if SSDs work then, but you're welcome to try it. Meanwhile, disconnected the old hard disk drive. Thank you all for your input. You're awesome. Edit 2, got a new SSD, now I have 2 hard drives, still won't boot. Thought maybe my DVD rewritable isn't reading the repair disk, so I attached a portable USB Blu-ray player, inserted the repair disk in there, set it as a priority, and boot in BIOS, nothing. Infuriating. Maybe the brand new repair disk isn't good after all, but I got no ideas, taking it to the vet. In this kind of a situation here, it sounds like, I'm not sure SSDs would work on this particular version of PC, because it's SATA 2, and generally, SSDs kind of became more prevalent around Gen 3, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4 of Intel. So that SSD just may not be compatible with that motherboard at that particular point in time. There's a possibility that you can upgrade the BIOS in order to fix that, but you never really explain exactly what is happening here. It sounds like your computer won't boot. So it sounds like, you know, it'll turn on, but it won't actually boot, like it can't read the drive. And if that is the case, then you should still be able to get into BIOS. And if you can get into BIOS, I would try to run an update. Yeah, I set it as priority in BIOS, so obviously you can get into BIOS. So on this one here, I would install the most up-to-date firmware for your motherboard, and maybe then the SSD may work. So it's worth a shot. But if it doesn't, then you may need a hard drive instead, like an older hard drive or just a hard drive in general, because the SSD is not supported on that particular motherboard on that particular version of firmware. Is what I would do in this particular situation, man. So yeah, that's a sucky one, you know, because it sounds like it's a drive issue from what you're explaining, but that's pretty much all I can glean from it on this one here. All right, so we're gonna do like an intermission and go back to another picture, just to try to mix this up a little bit. Wife spilled coffee on laptop. That's pretty good. That's that may not help, because okay, even if it gets drawn in by the rice, because it's coffee, the sugar, you can't do a whole lot about the sugar. Like, this is game over. So, you know, unless you're trying to make sticky rice, if you're trying to make coffee infested sticky rice, then I don't think this is gonna work. But I mean, she gets an E for effort, but she also gets an L for a new laptop, because this guy is dead. So, you know, it is what it is. It's coffee, you know. I don't know what to do. Like, they use your whole lunch on your laptop. So now you got to buy a new laptop and you need more rice. All right, we'll do a couple more. Another day in paradise. So we scroll down here. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Why did I look at that? Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Oh my God, girl, you nasty. Oh my God, you nasty. Woo, or guy, you nasty, because that is, ooh wee. No. And you got the nerve to have a MacBook Pro. You should have known there was a problem when you see the drippings of feces from, yeah, okay, maybe I know a little bit too much about roaches. You should have known there was something wrong. That right there, any guy or any person who has ever been broke before knows what that means. When you start seeing that, that means that you have some droppings. And yeah, and on top of that, it's warm in there too. There's just nothing to eat, but oh God, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get away from this picture. This is disgusting. Another day in paradise. I'm sorry. I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even spray it. I would just take this back and like, look here, you need to burn your laptop. You need to set it on fire, because I'm not touching this thing. Like, oh my God. That's a whole family. Ew. Oh, okay. That's even more dangerous. Well, okay. I don't know what arrows are made out of. If it's metal, then that's probably the most dangerous. I thought it was made out of wood, which is why I was saying, you know, turn off the power and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just thinking about like Robin Hood. But this is even worse. If you got a bullet, you know, it's stuck in a wire, a fiber wire, like that is ultra dangerous. Woo. Leave it to a squirrel to come in and mess with that and instantly die. Like, that's just crazy. Okay, we'll get another one here. Mom, can we get business grade Ethernet switch? No, we have business grade Ethernet switch at home. Business grade Ethernet switch at home. Oh my God. That is business grade at that point. Wow, that is, oh man, that Ethernet over power adapter. Okay, because I'm now I can't look at something and not do the math behind it. So like, okay, this is an Ethernet over power adapter with 4 gigabit Ethernet cables, but it's going into one outlet on a 15 amp circuit more than likely, which means that there's no way in blue heck that this is going to work properly. And if it does, your internet speeds are going to be slow because it's going to be divided by 4. Like, this is awful. This is bad. This reminds me of like switch level, like I'm sorry, not switch, but hub level. It almost works like that in this particular situation because they all have to share that same power line. Why? I don't get this. I'm guessing they replaced this one, but they didn't replace that one, and they're like, why? Yeah, I don't know why. So let's go ahead and go to the next one, the next actual issue. Okay, okay, 90% until I open Task Manager. I did that one. Okay, yeah, okay, I did have it on the right one. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get back to work. So this is from Impossible Fan. Oh God, I'm sorry. I can't. My mind is just, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that. It's just, oh God, Jesus Christ. Oh man, if I would have saw the back of that person's laptop, I could just imagine being in Geek Squad and seeing that. I'd be like, man, look, I'm sorry, but I've seen a lot of bugs in my day, and obviously the back of your laptop looks like feces, and you can take this back. I will pay you to take this back. No. Here's your $20, and I'll give you $20 to take this back and figure it out yourself, because I'm not touching that. Photos disappear from Google Drive. Please help. I have my Google account logged in my phone. Few days ago, my girlfriend wanted to send a big video, so I told her to upload the video to my Google Drive. I gave her the password and email ID, and I was sure there was nothing in that drive apart from new doc files. When she logged in, she said there are a few photos in that drive. I said I don't remember uploading anything on it. I already had Google Drive on my iPad, so I logged into the same account in my iPad to see what I uploaded there. But when I did, there were no photos in the drive, and after a few minutes, she said it got disappeared from her side too. And now she is really mad at me because she thinks I deleted the photos, but I don't even know what was in the drive in the first place. Is it possible that photos from drive just disappeared? Yes. It's a possibility if you changed your password, or maybe they got logged out, or maybe it updated or synced with iPad, and maybe it downloaded from iPad, or iPad uploaded something. So it's a possibility that can go away or just get migrated to a different computer that's also using your Google Drive account. Is that a bug or syncing issue, or I mistakenly deleted it, or she did mistakenly? I'm not familiar with this bug. If it is, can I recover those photos, and how can I do that? If they got deleted from Google Drive, you can recover them because Google Drive never deletes photos right then and there. They're going to be sitting in your deleted folder. Please help. I just did. She was really angry, and she said she won't ever trust me, but I did nothing. I checked the trash folder too, but it was empty, so I'm not sure if it got deleted. She said if I won't say the truth, she won't talk to me. She doesn't sound like a very good friend. I don't lie, I just logged in the account in my iPad. If some have ever faced the disappearing files from Drive, please let me know how is this possible and if there's a solution. Also, a few weeks before this incident, all my Gmail account was hacked, but I was able to recover all the accounts. The same account was logged in my iPad before hacking issues, and I logged it in my iPad for the first time after recovering. Well, if your account was hacked prior, then it's a possibility that you could be having issues with somebody downloading your folder or downloading your information, and that may be it. So if your account was hacked, then that person may still have access, and if that person still has access, they probably downloaded those photos, and because of that, when you logged in, you didn't see them because they were already gone. And they may have went in and actually taken those photos down. So I would say in this particular situation, I don't know if you changed. The same account was logged in my iPad before hacking issues, and I logged in my iPad for the first time after recovering. So you did a password recovery, which means that you more than likely reset your password. But if they put any type of keylogger on the computer that had this issue, then they probably have the password too. So it's a possibility that may have actually logged in and actually made that change. There used to be a way where you can go into the settings of Google Drive in order to see the IP addresses and where they came from of the users that logged into that account. And if that's the case, you can check that in order to see if the IP addresses were from you or your friend. If they're from somebody else that isn't you or your friend from a different country, then more than likely somebody else is in your account. So that's the quickest way to do it. Some accounts have that, but I'm pretty sure Google Drive has it. If not, you may be able to call their support and get that information, because all they have to do is just look up who logged in and from where. And if they see somebody who logged in from a different country outside of your own, then there's a pretty good possibility that that person still has access to your Google Drive account. So in this particular situation, I tell your friend to take a chill pill and calm the heck down, and there's a possibility that somebody maybe still be hacking your account. Is how it would go in this particular situation. If nobody did hack your account, then it's a possibility that they may have downloaded onto your iPad. So I would check the photos folder on your iPad to see if your iPad downloaded by mistake, or tell her to check whatever she uploaded it to see if maybe she downloaded it by mistake. So those are the main two, but even if you downloaded it, shouldn't delete it. And it doesn't sound like it deleted it because it was there, because it would be in the trash can. So it sounds like you may be working with a professional hacker, somebody who logged in and took your pictures and maybe removed them completely. That's what it sounds like. Or they got downloaded to your iPad, but even if they did, they would still be in Google Cloud. So yeah, it's kind of an iffy one, but it looks like you may actually have an issue with somebody attacking your account. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go to the next one and check the clock. Okay, cool. I feel like something's in my head. If it is, and y'all saw it, I apologize. Booting Windows from external SSD, I backed up image to Macrium Reflect. I'm sorry, I was checking the chat, make sure everything was cool. Okay, booting Windows from external SSD, I backed up image to Macrium Reflect. Macrium Reflect, for those of you at home, reflects whatever the contents on a drive are to another drive, and it allows you to, like, for example, if you have a 1 gig hard drive and you want to reflect that to a 2 gig hard drive, it'll reflect that, and it sets it up so that you can extend it to make that into a 2 gig. Does that make sense? Because if you clone it, then it's still 1 gig and you still have a 1 gig partition that's there. It'll allow you to extend it because you can move the location of the C drive or the C partition. I created an image of my entire system to an SSD using Macrium Reflect. I wanted to boot from it to see if it works and everything backed up properly before I wipe my laptop clean so I can send it to the manufacturer for repair. When I set boot priority and try to start the system up, it shows the manufacturer logo as usual, but after it disappears, it comes right back and has preparing auto repair. Then goes to the Windows troubleshooting menu showing those Windows recovery, repair, etc. options. Should I be able to boot up from the external SSD after restoring it from an image? Yes. And the fact that you can't means that either A, it's not the priority. I know you said that you made it the priority, but it doesn't sound like it's the priority. Or B, you may have it in a port that it may not support, so you may want to try to put it in a port in the back. Or if it's a USB 3, try to plug it into USB 3, but if not, plug it into USB 2, because it looks like your computer is not detecting it at all. But yes, it should boot. It should boot in the exact same way your regular hard drive boots whenever you turn on Windows. Okay. All right. This is from, oh no, I already read that one. Okay, cool. So this one looks like it's a good one. Well, I hope. So this is from Extra Lit. Issue sharing posts on Facebook to my business page. So I am on Facebook and I see this post that I want to share my business page, all that while being on my personal profile. When I click the share and choose the option to share to my business page, there is no share now button and it's entirely missing. Also, if I try to do the same thing on my phone, I have no issues. It works and I can share with my business page without any problems. However, when I try that from a PC, I can't. It's very frustrating for me. The workaround I found is to switch to my business page and start looking at for the post that I want to share to have it open in another tab, but that's literally not efficient. It works, but it's not right. So has anybody run into this issue and have any idea how to fix it? Yeah, Facebook is very segregated when it comes to your personal page and your business page, and it's gotten worse in that it's more segregated. So yeah, if it's not giving you the option to share to your business page, it could be that it's a possibility that it may not be logged in, or it may have issues logging in or actually seeing that information, but it just sounds like a bug, really. And the reason why it may be working is because the app version may actually be more updated. So in this particular situation and not being able to share, I would try different browsers just to make sure it's not a browser issue, like something is actually blocking you from sharing, but it doesn't sound like it is. It just sounds like you're hitting a bug in this particular situation. So now I'm not exactly sure what the best way would handle this. I don't know what the best way to handle this issue would be. However, the workaround that you're using is a workaround that I would use for this situation as well. I just go to my business page and look up the thing that I want to share and then share it myself, is how I would handle this particular situation. But yeah, I don't know if that is a bug or not. I've never experienced that, but you can always call Facebook and find out if they still have a phone number. I'm not sure if they do anymore. Okay, let's go back to funny pictures. All right. Hang in there. What's hanging? Oh, is that a fan? Why do you have such a small fan there? Okay, I'm not even. Next picture. That's not even fan. Oh, it's a wireless router, or like a Wi-Fi, a wireless access point is what I wanted to say. A WAP. That is interesting. Okay, education never stops. What? I don't get it. I mean, you got a lot of stuff plugged into a wall. I don't get it. Okay, a lot of CPUs. CPU utilization is 33%, CPU 0 through 11, so it's a 12 core, and they're all around 30%. a lot of CPUs. I don't get it. I don't know. So new keyboard. That obviously, because it's ASDF spacebar enter, and I don't know what number that is, but because it's those buttons, those are the buttons most used. That is obviously a used keyboard. Cox literally put a generator up this telephone pole, apparently to restore internet to my friend's block somehow. They come by like every 12 hours to refill it with gas. Pray for Dima Court be this effing sketchy. Oh my goodness, that's like a tree. That's very ghetto. Well, okay, I was gonna call that ghetto, but there have been situations where there have been entire, we don't call it blackout, we call it like a brownout, where they basically not what you're thinking, but essentially where everybody loses power except for the hospital, and then they kind of roll blackouts. So, well, I don't even think that's what it's called. I don't think it's called a brownout. I think I just made a mistake there. I think it's actually just called a rolling blackout. But in any event, it's whenever you lose power and only the hospital has power. In this particular situation here, they probably just rigged it so that they made sure that that particular block had power because it may be like a school or a hospital that needed power. And they were trying to do it by any means necessary because they didn't have time to fix it, is what that sounds like. So yeah, it's sketchy, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to get people power sometimes. Okay, I was not prepared for the discovery of this redneck projector. I've never called a projector a redneck, but I can see why. What? I don't get it. I'm so confused. Oh, okay. It goes up into the roof, okay, and then it connects right here onto a piece of wood. Okay, so yeah, they basically just kind of rigged it up top so that it wouldn't fall, but it's kind of baby rigged. Great. Okay, so let me let me get my voice ready. So this is from Verizon chat. I'm really sorry. This setup usually works, but looks like you're going to need more assistance that I can give you. Tap below for help from a Verizon representative now. Chat with the representative. We are currently experiencing higher than usual wait times. The current wait time to connect you to an agent is more than flow data busy state estimated wait time minutes in minutes. I like to wait for an agent. Great, someone will be with you shortly. Yeah, this this is typically the default. As soon as like I hear myself talking with an agent who is actually a computer, I just want to talk to an agent because they're never going to understand, nor they're going to give you any discount. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's a computer. I realize that they're probably going to have their own rights in another few years or whatever, depending on whatever Google does. But in this particular situation here, I don't want to talk to them. They don't give discounts. I'd rather talk to a person who's able to give me a discount. That's just me being petty, but that's the truth. Okay, and we'll get this last one here. So when my old bill threw in the towel some time back, it looked like it was sending me ransom notes. Still not sure what it caused it. Motherboard, CPU. Okay, well apparently this is a disk boot failure. Insert system disk. So this looks like a disk failure, but the fact that it's just showing S's and it's not even able to show the objects properly, I don't know. I mean, drive and RAM, all hardware. You know, it's a possibility that it could be a CPU issue, but I would try to install Windows and see if this goes away. But yeah, it's oof. For it to give you something like that, okay. Whenever you usually get bad characters, it's usually because it's console in the professional world, and you have it set with the wrong baud rate. But in this case here, this is just a person's Samsung. So there's a couple ways you can play this. One, you can just plug in anything else. I don't care what it is, and see if it starts to give you weird characters. If not, then yeah, this is going to be an issue with your computer. But it sounds like it would have been an issue with your computer or your monitor. I'm sorry, not your monitor. It's a low probability of being your monitor, but more than likely it may be the cable or the motherboard or the RAM or the drive. But even if the drive is okay, it may still show this. So yeah, that's a hard one. It can be anything hardware related, but I would just go ahead and try to reinstall Windows and see what you get. Alrighty, we got room for one more here. Where is my... Oh, that's not even a, that wasn't even a question. I turned it into an actual issue. I just realized that. Okay, let's go ahead and go to an actual issue. Okay, cool. This is a good one. And nobody has responded, which means that, you know, it's relatively new. YouTube videos not working while hardwired to my PC. Sorry, I gotta get ready. I have a rather weird situation right now. I hardwired my PC today and everything is working great except for YouTube. Every video I try to watch buffers constantly and it automatically loads the video in its lowest quality. But as soon as I unplug my Ethernet cable and use the Wi-Fi connection, the YouTube videos work fine on my PC. Latency. My ISP is Verizon Fios. I am using their newest router and this was the issue I have been trying to solve today, and I called their customer support as well. Bad idea. Not that it is wrong, it's just that they may charge you. We tried their troubleshooting tactics. They believe that possibly the ports on the back of the router were not working properly. That's an interesting one. That's a kind of a lead, because if it's not that, they may charge you. They gave me a new router and I picked it up today. I hooked it all up and I'm still having issues, the exact same issues with my PC and the YouTube videos. I tried watching videos on Vimeo and those videos loaded fine. I didn't have any buffering issues and was able to watch the videos in their highest quality while being hardwired. In an attempt to continue troubleshooting this, I went to Best Buy and bought an Ethernet adapter for my laptop to see if YouTube would be giving me the same problem from there. To my surprise, YouTube was working just fine when being hardwired into my laptop, but for whatever reason, my PC, while being hardwired, will just not work with YouTube. Take that Ethernet adapter and plug it into your PC and see if it gives you the same problem, because it could just be the adapter. Does anyone have any issue as to why this is? I am assuming it has something to do with my PC at this point because my laptop is working just fine. Any help would be appreciated, thank you. So if it's having issues buffering and you swap out with your laptop, you never mention where you were when you swapped out with your laptop, so it could just be a cable or a line issue. You don't say whether or not you swapped out the exact same cable that was in your desktop with your laptop. So because you didn't say that, I had to assume that that is a possibility. So because I mean, you could have just plugged an Ethernet cable into the back of the Verizon and just be really close to it, and that works. So it could be that you may, where your desktop is and where your Verizon Fios is, it could be a bad line in between them. So if there is a coupler or something like that, it could be something going bad, or any type of an extension, or if the cable is too long and there's degradation, then you can have that particular problem. Outside of that, you know, YouTube being super slow and buffering, I have that problem too, but it's usually caused by latency and the line just being kind of slow because it's so far it's degraded. So it's a possibility that that is the case. Now, here's how I would troubleshoot this particular situation. I'd move my PC closer to my Verizon Fios box and hook directly up with a smaller cable and see if that fixes the situation. If it does, then it sounds like your line between your Verizon Fios getting to your PC may be bad or going out, because it sounds like you may have some latency or some miscommunicating cables. But typically, if you have some type of latency, it doesn't necessarily, for it to only apply to YouTube and not Vimeo. Vimeo should also have that problem too. So yeah, I'm thinking some type of a latency, but it's a possibility that it could be some type of an antivirus or malware software. But it's hard to say without actually seeing it. YouTube video is not working while hardwired to my PC. But everything works on Wi-Fi. So yeah, you can't even say that it's malware because everything works on Wi-Fi. So you can't say that it's malware. The only thing that you can really say is that maybe it's distance. So that's pretty much it. And he doesn't mention that one may be HD and the other one may be 4K, and it just can't buffer the 4K, which is a possibility. So, you know, there's just too many variables to actually give you a definitive answer on this. But in this particular situation, how I would troubleshoot it is I would try to hook my desktop as close to my Verizon Fios box as humanly possible to see if that resolves the issue. If that doesn't resolve the issue and it's still having the same problem, then I would try to swap it out with a port that works on the back of the Verizon and see if that fixes anything. If that still doesn't fix anything, then I checked to see if you made any changes or any updates, or if there's any new malware or antivirus software that you're currently running in the browser that can be a problem, you know, or maybe it's changed with certain settings and because of that it's not showing. That's a possibility. But everything that it could be is kind of a low probability here. I would just do the normal things, the hook up closer kind of situation, and see if that works, and then kind of just take it from there, because there's just too many possibilities to list with this one, unfortunately. Alrighty, and I think that is it. That was from IMJVR. I thought that was pretty interesting. You know, we changed it up a little bit here, got a few jokes in, but yeah, I'm gonna try to do some more interesting stuff like that to try to get attention and make more interesting videos. But I think that worked pretty well. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and like button. If you really like it, go ahead and subscribe. I love you either way. Take care, all the best, and bye.